I'm just going live. For Hey everyone. So we are live. So Dr. Ed Osborne, chiropractic philanthropist, laptop lifestyle coach. We have Dr. Josh Wagner from the Perfect Patient Funnel System. And yeah, today we're here really just to give back, to help grow and expand chiropractors' influence by using Facebook video and live. What I want to do though, because there's 49, 50 chiropractors actually, 54 chiropractors actually on. Could someone please just in the comments section over there, in the side, there's a sidebar, there's a chat, please enter in that you can actually hear me. You can hear my voice. If you could do that, that would be amazing. Thank you. So go ahead and just enter in there. Dr. Josh can hear me. Fantastic. There's always a little bit of a delay on Webinar Jam, so I'm just going to wait a sec. And let's see. Good. All right, everyone. All right. Thanks, everyone. Dr. Kyle, Aaron, Ben. Wow, we got a day. This is amazing. Innate Mom. Wow. All the way from Colorado. I know Innate Mom. So I want to kind of we're going to riff. Dr. Josh and I were talking about this before we started. We're just going to riff and basically explain to everyone, how we use Facebook video and Facebook Live to create influence on. I'm going to actually throw it over to Dr. Josh right away. So Josh, what is the importance of actually able to create video on Facebook, and then how to actually
with the Webinar Jam, some of this is getting paused. So guys, thanks for being here. 100%, none of this is scripted. We're giving you what we have. We're going to answer all of your questions. And like you've probably seen, however you got on this, whether it's through one of our videos, an email, a Facebook post, both of us deal with chiropractors all over the world over the past years. I've never seen real stats of new patients coming into practices before the last 6+ months through the influence of social media. So everything from posting to sharing to liking, that's all good and fine with your patients and practice members, but it isn't until just recently that new patients are actually coming into doctors. So you're actually seeing a monetary ROI. Sorry, Doctor, I thought that was for me. You're actually seeing an ROI in terms of new patient numbers and revenue from video, and it's huge. And what we're going to be sharing with you is not just how we, let's say, share ourselves on video, because a lot of what we do is catered for you guys and for chiropractors. So you don't necessarily have to learn how to drive in your car like Ed shares himself very effectively, or I may be walking in New York City, but we're going to show you what you need to position yourself also, as the expert, as credible, as caring inside your practice without all the extra bells and whistles. And it'll make it easier for you to get in front of more of the public, whether for free or very little monetary investment, and start getting more exposure that wasn't possible a year ago or ever before, but keeping up with the changes in technology and the resources. And we're going to answer every one of your questions and give you what we have so you can do this as effectively as possible, because the time is now. And if you're not doing it, you're definitely missing out.
And I think, Josh, too, all about where the attention is. There's a lot of attention on Facebook.
Absolutely. Everything from if you're out in your community, whether you're like, I'm in New York City, so I see people walking on the sidewalks all the time. It's rare, unless two people are talking to each other, that someone's not on their phone. And if it's not texting, it's most likely a social media app like Facebook or Instagram or something. And you can easily put yourself on these and intercept their flow and get in their line of sight. And when you do it effectively, like we'll share, again, free placement, it's putting you in the eyes and minds of someone who potentially is in the market for you, rather than money on flyers or setting up talks or screenings, you have exponential more reach in front of the eyes and ears that are actually, they're there. You know, they don't have to show up to the farmer's market. They don't have to open up the flyer. They don't have to, it's hitting them right where they already are. So it's extremely effective if done well.
Yeah, and I definitely see a lot of chiropractors, like even if we were to look back, say like 12 months, 24 months ago, there weren't very many chiropractors who were doing video, like even on their fan page, just so the live streaming on Facebook. But I see, for the first time, I have clients that I see now that are doing Facebook Live, and I challenge them to do this, is to do Facebook Live streaming, even just once a day. And then often what they're doing is they're boosting those, and they're finally seeing new people actually coming in their doors. So they are using it as a new patient attraction tool, but also an
Yeah, absolutely. No, just today, I noticed 3 people. I wasn't even going through my news feeds. I was going through my notifications, and I noticed 3 chiropractors that I'm friends with who are going live right then. So there's so many different ways this happens, where someone may be going through their notifications, and if you're friends with them in your community, it'll let them know you went live. Going live for most people, I know I was like this a few months ago, is so nerve-wracking and anxiety-driven and apprehensive that just by seeing someone went live, it boosts your status. Just like if you go do a talk in front of people, you instantly have more credibility and authority, because very few people can get up and give a talk in front of people. If they see that you're going live, that's another level of respect and credibility, even if they're not even listening to what you're saying. So it hits people in so many different ways. And all of the videos you do, so you don't even have to go live. You can post this on your Facebook feed. You can put these on your website. You can put these in email. So video isn't just about Facebook. You can repurpose it and have it staying on your website if it's a great video forever. And again, increasing connection and engagement and trust and credibility on your part by getting in front of the camera effectively.
Cool. Yeah, very good. And so I'm just also going to throw it to the chat here for a second. Like once in a while, I do hear that Dr. Josh will break up a little bit. Is anyone else in the room actually getting that, or is that more on my end? And this may be for anyone who wants to be doing webinars in the future. This is something that does happen on Google Hangout.
Well, here's a good example for the audience. What we're doing right now is far more complicated than the videos. So you're not going to be breaking up on recorded videos you make, depending on your live setup. But if you're connected to Wi-Fi, shouldn't happen. And if you're in your office, you're going to be connected to Wi-Fi. So what Ed and I are doing right now is far more complicated and not as easy as what we'll be sharing and what you'll be doing.
Yeah, webinars are definitely, there's a lot more moving parts, but I want to make sure that everyone is actually getting some information from this. Don't worry, you will be getting a replay mailed to you, so you can actually go through this, at your leisure and just take tons of notes, although I'm going to challenge you to do that too. I'm going to ask you to enter questions as we go too. I'll try to address the questions myself, or certainly direct them towards Dr. Josh. And I think that one thing I'd like to address before we start to actually really get it tactical here, and when I say tactical, because today it's really all about covering equipment, what you need, and how to do this, like video and live streaming, so moving forward on the next webinar, you'll have everything in place and ready to go when we start to show you the actual strategy and tips on how to do this. But I think that it's important to address why it is important that you do this now. So a lot of docs on this webinar might be going, well, I'll get to it 6 months. But I want you to understand that things change so quickly in the online world, and where the attention is, you got to go and you got to do it now, because the same effect that we are talking about today may not be relevant 6 months or 12 months from now. It changes that fast. Wouldn't you agree, Josh?
100%. Literally, Facebook is changing every week. And forget about what we teach now may not be applicable in 6 months. If you start now, it doesn't even mean you have to be broadcasting yourself next week. You can just start practicing and training, and just the time you put in, you will be night and day different in a month, in 2 months, and 3 months. So you might as well start doing it now and get rid of the rookie stuff, the mistakes. And the mistakes, if you're starting with recorded video, you don't have to post them. Just start getting comfortable with it. And then when you're competent, then you start posting them, but sooner than later, because not only do things change, but it usually gets harder. and there's going to be more competition. So instead of you being the only one in your community being on Facebook and getting in front of people's news feeds, now maybe there's 3 or 4 other chiropractors, more competition, maybe they're more engaging with you. You might as well be the first.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's do this. Let's get right into the into the tactical. So Josh, what do you recommend? I mean, even just in terms of like camera, like what are people going to use?
Easiest thing to start with is cell phone, smartphone. I have an iPhone 6S. I was using the 5 before the 6. The 6 is definitely better. Haven't experimented with the 7. The 7 should have a better camera, but my wariness right now, and this is important, is the 7 doesn't have a headphone jack.
Correct.
So they have the wireless. I don't know how that works with mics, so I can't endorse go get a 7 yet, because most likely you're going to want to have a lapel mic, which I'll show you in a second, that plugs in right here to the mic jack. Same thing you would plug your earphones into. I have these into my computer. So if you have a smartphone, and I'm sure the Androids are just as good, if not better, that's all you need if you want to invest in more. Now, for recorded video, you can go with an HD type camera, spend $500 on a refurbished one, maybe $600, $700, $800 on a new one. Like I've used a T3i, a Canon, but you can't obviously do live with that, but you can get higher quality video as a recording for your website and then to post to Facebook. Because again, it's not just about going live on Facebook. That's one tactic, but just putting video is extremely important. So if you want, or if you already have one, or if you want to invest on a bigger one, you can do like a Canon HD, but you really don't need to. If you have a smartphone, which you probably do, start there.
Yeah, keep it simple, right? And I've definitely uploaded video directly to Facebook, like using a DSLR, so like a really high def video, but it does take more time. And in the end, I think the quality is diminished even when you do upload it to Facebook. There is a certain amount of quality that's diminished. Even our webcams, like what we're using, I think you even, Josh, right now, we're using a light adjusting webcam.
It's funny. First of all, I don't think people can see me, but I actually forgot to put it on. So you just have you're seeing my straight Airbook camera.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, people are saying that they can't see me, which is fine. Well, actually, I was going to hold up some props and equipment, so maybe they'll get that in the recording.
well, at least we could hear you, Josh. That's the main thing. But and here's the thing too, is don't worry, everyone. What I'm going to have is I'm going to put up a button in a second that'll be on the sidebar, and in the button it'll just basically say access resources. When you hit that button, it won't take you away from the webinar, but it's going to take you to a bunch of links and resources. I want you to bookmark that page. It's actually a hidden page on my website.
Cool.
I just created it last night. It's got all the links, URLs that take you to get all the equipment and the resources we're talking about. And as we go through the webinar series, I'm just going to continue to add to that list. So that's why I'm going to say bookmark it, keep it for later. So yeah, I mean, for now, I mean, like myself, like some people will ask, if you are doing video and you want to use your desktop and you are going to upload that to Facebook, I have a 1080 HD Logitech camera here, and it's light adjusting, so it focuses it as you're closer or further away. So it just gives you that one bit of better quality. But for the most part, yeah, people are going to be using their mobiles, and that's where I start. And I think that's actually what gets the most engagement anyways. I even saw, Josh, that someone was saying, like, you don't want to take away the destabilization. You want to have a little bit of shaking sometimes actually in the video, that it actually attracts more people to listen.
Yeah, there's that's absolutely a factor and a tactic, and it depends on, I would say, it depends on the purpose of that video. So for a video that you're going to repurpose on your website homepage or in a video section, you're probably not going to want the shakiness if you're sitting at your desk with a degree behind you looking all proper. But there may be some time where you're inviting people to an event and you're walking through your clinic, or you're doing something and it's more of a one-time use, inviting people to an event. That's fine. So there's different reasons to have more of a staged background, or you're going live and you're holding it on a selfie stick or in your hand or however it may be. Bottom line is you can do all of them and experiment. So obviously smartphone is fine. In case you were worrying you had to spend $1,000 on a camera, you can start with your smartphone. I would recommend, with the 7 coming out, if you're using the 5, at least upgrade to the 6. I see someone on the side comment about the 7 does have an adapter. Again, obviously it works. Apple wouldn't make it so you couldn't use the 7 with a mic, but literally there should be a link for a lapel mic. You can get a lapel mic for probably $13 on Amazon. And here's the little insider secret is be careful of which one you buy because they may send you one that's only 3 feet long. And if you are filming, let's say you want to sit at your desk in your office and have the camera 5 feet away and get a bigger picture, you're going to get frustrated when it doesn't reach. So make sure you get a lapel mic with an extended cord, like at least 6 feet. There should be a link on that page that Dr. Ed will open up with an example of one from Amazon. You don't have to pick that one, but just make sure you're getting an oversized cord.
Yeah, and I also added the link for the Rode Smart Lav, which is another type of lapel mic. It's a little bit more of an investment, around $80, but it comes actually with an application for $6 on iPhones, so you can actually record also just basically audio directly through that mic onto your mobile phone, and then you can sync that with video later, and it's really pristine audio. Sometimes the success of your videos, if you want, again going back to purpose, Josh, sometimes the success of your video will rise and fall based on audio. Like people want
absolutely
to hear, good quality audio.
And there's a difference if it sounds like or looks like, because we'll get to lighting in a second, if it looks like you are in your basement even though you're in your practice, like if the lighting is shabby and the audio is muffled or sounds like you're in a tunnel, that's a direct reflection on the quality of your care in the perception of the viewer, which may not be true. You may be the absolute best chiropractor in the world and just don't know what you're doing on camera. But when the patient or the prospective patient hears like it sounds like you're far away and the lighting isn't good, that's a turnoff, unfortunately. And another reason why you should be on here today, to make sure you're doing it correctly if you're going to do it at all. Another point about the lapel mic, if you are planning on doing, say, interviews with people where you're going to be sitting a couple feet away from them, you can get a lapel splitter, which because your voice is going to sound a lot differently with the mic 5 inches from your mouth rather than the person 3 feet away from you. So what you can get is what's called a boom mic. And I don't know if I added this, I just thought of it now in the resources, BOOM, that connects to your iPhone and just shoots right in between you two and picks up any voices that are coming in that line of direction, within 10 feet. So that's only if you're going to be having someone else speak and they're not going to be close to your lapel mic, is a boom mic if you're planning on doing interviews, which is another good thing, just like podcasts, to get connected in the community, is doing video interviews with people.
What's the advantage that you see, Josh, between doing direct video uploads? So just for everyone who's watching right now. So here's the difference. So I go and I videotape myself on my phone for 2 minutes, and then I directly upload that onto Facebook, versus going live and doing a live video stream. And it's basically added as a video when you stop the live stream. What's the advantage you see, Josh, between doing direct video upload and, Facebook Live, just so we can distinguish since everyone knows the difference?
Okay. So, the difference is you have a lot less control on live, because now here's some people are scared of, you don't have to post that video when you're done. Now you're at the whim of anyone could see it while you're recording, but you can choose that it doesn't go up in case you feel like you messed up or slipped up. Trust me, I've done that in the beginning. I didn't post certain ones. I may share a funny story later about that. But the main thing is your live video posted will not be as strong of video quality as a recorded video that you upload. So again, people will know that this was a live video as a recording, but it's still not going to come out as strong a quality. And depending on how you're positioning yourself in your community, like if you're at an event, okay, you're outside, I get it. But if you are in your clinic, you want either, let's say, an adjustment table background, or you're in your office, you want that to be the crispest most crisp video and recorded video, then uploaded to Facebook, will save that for you.
Well, let's do this. Let's go to lighting. You know, we talked a little bit about audio. We talked about camera,
Yeah.
you know, what you need. Let's go to lighting. I mean, I'm curious, Josh, do you have lights on you right now?
I have lights on me right now, but I don't think anyone can see that. So here's what I found from chiropractors doing great videos. Some clinics have amazing overhead lighting where you don't need any extra lighting. And that's great because the most expensive thing we'll recommend to you, my experience, is light boxes. It's in the, if you need them, I recommend Cowboy Studios. There should be a link on Amazon. But depending on your clinic, and this is just, you've got to test it. Test out the camera with the most lights on you, and you may not need it. Like, Ed, do you have any lights on you right now?
No.
Okay,
I have natural light, 2 windows.
So perfect. So if you were in your office right now doing it for your patients, I wouldn't say get light boxes. You're fine. Like, you have perfect lighting. So you don't need to invest in light boxes. But if you do, I recommend Cowboy Studio. And before you make the investment in Cowboy Studio, which is still under $200, I would check out the smartphone app, which is in Ed's resources, called Filmic, Filmic. It's a $10 one-time purchase. It's so worth it. You can adjust the exposure before you hit record. Now this isn't used for Facebook Live. This is just for recording. You can adjust the lighting exposure where naturally it might not be enough, but when you raise it, it's better. And then after you record, you can adjust the exposure again. That may save you having to need light boxes. That app in itself.
Yeah, I've always used light boxes because until I moved to this new home, which we have tons of natural light. So just for everyone who is, you know, viewing right now, if you can get yourself in, like, why I go outside, why Josh goes outside, we're always in front of windows, is natural light is always the best light. And really,
but it could backfire because sometimes natural light is too much, and it gives you raccoon eyes or whatever. So it goes both ways, and you'll learn this. But for now, for the most part, you're most likely going to be filming inside your clinic to prove to the people you're not just saying you're a chiropractor, you are. Like, it's, there's all these subtle aspects of proof. So be inside your office, and you won't have to worry about the natural light, and hopefully just your office lights are good enough.
Yeah, and I mean, again, if you do have to make that investment, and the link is in the resources, I mean, light boxes, they're really easy to use, 45 degrees on either side of you when you're in front of you. And just take a look. I mean, look at the camera and see what like you said, that's a good point. Before you, don't just assume that you look good, actually check it before you go live or before you start recording.
And here's an important part. There's lots of different, if you do need those light boxes, Cowboy Studios has different options. I made the mistake of spending like $125 on the light boxes that only had 3 light bulbs in them, and they weren't enough. You've got to get the light boxes, which you could get for like $175, that have 5 big light bulbs in them. That will give you enough. So that was frustrating when I realized that it really wasn't worth that purchase.
Okay, cool. And what applications are you liking right now for docs that want to be doing video and streaming?
Do you mean like a Filmic, or in terms of?
Yeah. Well, just any apps, any filters, anything like that you like?
That hands down, that's the one. That's the only one I really use, and I don't even use it all the time. But Filmic, you can find it in the App Store or on the site, and you just download it right to your phone. You can trim the video on it. You can change the lighting before and after the recording. There's tons of stuff I never even use, but what you'll find is that lighting makes such a difference that you want that to be right, and that app does it for me.
Cool. And so I'm just going to open it up to some of the live questions then. I mean,
tripod is important.
There you go. Okay.
People don't skimp and get the $10 Spider tripod, which only stands about 6 inches tall, for a number of reasons. One, you're going to have to figure out like stacking books and things and that to get it to be like eye level, even if you're sitting at your desk. And 2, but the Spider contraption, it's not as easy to make it level. So you could probably get a 5-foot standing tripod for $25, $30. Get the 5-foot tripod that, even if you only need to put it on your desk or from the floor going up 5 feet, whether you're standing, sitting, it adapts. You don't have to figure out setup. Very important. And not expensive, easily to get on Amazon. And then what I've also found is that the typical selfie stick holder for a camera only allows you to position the camera in a horizontal mode, which is the better way to film like a recorded to post on Facebook, to have the camera in horizontal or landscape mode. Whereas if you do vertical, you'll have black bars on the side when you upload it to Facebook. Now, up until recently, you could only do Facebook Live with the camera vertical. Now you can do it horizontal, but I still prefer the vertical because I think it gets a bit bigger picture, and I like it better. The point of me telling you this is the typical selfie stick only has the grasp for the camera in horizontal mode. You can't turn it. As simple as that sounds, it's really crazy. They only make it so you can put the camera in horizontal mode. So there is this device that you can attach to your tripod. It'll be in the resources link, called MeFoto, MEFOTO. And that is a very simple device where I don't know why every other company doesn't do it, but it just has a hinge. So once you put your camera in, you can rotate horizontal or vertical in a second. And whether you want to go live or do a recorded one, you don't have to switch out which tripod you're using or which holder. It's just one universally. So that's something that I found also very beneficial, and it's in the resources link. And
awesome.
You know
like
what? $25.
I'm gonna tag onto that conversation then too of securing your camera. So since people like I drive around in my car and I do a lot of videos. And so I don't do that because of any other reason than it's just I'm inspired when I get in the car. Plus it's also a time thing. Like I get in the car, I got time, I can do a video. So please secure the phone. Like be safe. So I did check. It is not a distraction so long as the phone is fixed. It's called an eye bolt. It'll be in the resources. It's just an eye bolt, sticks right to your windshield and just talk. You don't have to be looking at the camera the whole time. So that's what I do. I just find I get a ton of engagement when I'm driving around in the car. And I notice a lot of chiropractors are driving around in cars and doing videos now too, which is pretty cool. So
yeah. I think it's funny that that's actually considered allowable by the highway safety department, that they don't consider that a distraction. It's great, but I can't believe that gets passed. But so literally the equipment we've just shared is all you need, and you probably don't even need all of it. Like you probably don't need the light boxes. You could get all this for under $100 if you already have a smartphone, and that's what you need to start practicing. So the main purpose of this first one in the webinar series is make sure you have the right equipment. Make sure you realize how vital it is to start now and not in 6 months when you think you'll be more comfortable, but you're not going to be, and you'll only be more comfortable when you start practicing. And then open it up to question and answer, because we're going to then address on the future ones everything about talking points, the flow, preparing for being on camera, and then of course posting and how to get that engagement. But it's not worth learning all of that up front if you're not even practicing yet, if you're not even using the right equipment, if you're not comfortable in front of the camera. It's just going to be information overload, and then you won't do anything. So before the next live webinar goes, make sure you get your equipment. You can have this stuff in 2 days with Amazon Prime for less than $100 if you don't have it already, and start practicing and getting familiar. And then we're going to take it to the next level in each next webinar.
Yeah. And open it up to a few questions then too. I mean, some of the questions are relevant to equipment and some aren't. I mean, one of the questions someone had, and this is great, is can you do Facebook Live from a PC?
No.
No, there's a hack.
Okay.
There's a hack.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. But honestly, see.
So, and also someone asked about, can you do Facebook Live from your business page? You can't. You can only do it from your personal page, which is another reason. The only people who are going to see your Facebook Live are people who you're friends with. So another reason, like I promote getting everyone's email address that you possibly can in your community who could be a potential patient to get your information. Another reason you should be friending everyone you possibly can in your community so they could potentially see you on Facebook Live. Yeah.
It's interesting to know too that when you do go to post, they've changed actually the dashboard, like the dashboard on Facebook Mobile. So like when you go in, I mean, it has the live icon is now there. It's not hard to find anymore. I mean, they really are promoting, as far as I understand it. I mean, Facebook wants to put everyone out of business in terms of live streaming. They want everyone doing it. And that's also why it's at the very top of the algorithm right now. Like, that's why you were saying, Josh, like if someone goes live, you get a notification, don't you?
Absolutely. And there was a question about how long should the live be, or what's the benefit? So my take on that is the longer the better, because the longer you're on, the more people, the more chance someone's going to see you in that moment, the more likes you might get, the more comments you get, and that'll help when you post it for potential viral or more people to see it. But the longer the better, only if what you're doing is worthwhile. So don't be talking for no reason. Don't go 30 minutes and not be engaging the whole time. So yes, filming your patient lay lecture or your monthly talk or whatever you do, that's a great idea because it's obviously, or it should be, engaging the whole time. But taking a 4-minute topic and making it 30 is not good. So the longer you go is fine as long as you're not turning people off. And that doesn't mean you should only go live if you're going to go long. So you can go live for 3-4 minutes, that's fine. And you can go live for longer, and that's helpful, but only if it's engaging.
I'm just going to pop up the resource page there so people don't miss that too. And there we go. So it should just say click here for resources. So don't worry if you see that. It won't take you away from the webinar. It'll just take you to a different web page.
Yeah. Okay. Ben asked a good question. Friending patients on personal Facebook. So again, this isn't just about Facebook Live. So you can get tons of exposure from organically posting recorded videos to your Facebook, either personal or your business page. Again, your business page, absolutely ask patients to like it. If they like it or if they're a follower, they're going to get notified of your recorded videos. I just don't want you to think the only exposure route is going live. There is tremendous benefit in putting up recorded videos. And literally the majority of the docs I know who are driving new patients into their office, it's not even through live. It's through recorded videos that they've put up. And then either it was straight, just organic, or then they boosted it for $10 and got new patients from that. So in terms of live, if you don't feel comfortable friending on your personal Facebook people, your Facebook page, your patients, consider friending other leaders and people in your community who could be potential referral sources, commissioning like event sources that you could do something with, and they see your live videos, and that's going to intrigue them to reach out to you and be like, wow, he's getting out there, he's putting himself out there, he or she, maybe we could do something together. So if you don't feel comfortable friending your patients, definitely be friending other influencers in your community who you can see wanting to do something with.
So would you say, Josh, it's really important that if you are doing Facebook Live, that engagement, like you want to actually address people who are asking questions and get people asking and communicating?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, to me, that's a different than what I was just sharing. But absolutely, always the more engagement, the better. But also, don't feel bad if you post videos and you don't get more than you don't get a like or you don't get a comment. It takes a lot for people. Also, here's a good lesson. Like, it takes a lot of people to write a lot for someone to write a comment, because they're putting themselves out there to everyone else now that they were writing a comment or liked it. And some people are shy. So it doesn't mean just because you're not getting likes or comments that someone won't pick up the phone and call you. And the name of the game is not likes and comments. It's how many new patients are coming in your door and seeing a return on investment from what you're doing. And the return on investment is not likes or comments or shares. It's the real end return on investment. Now, yes, those can help you get there, but they're not the only medium.
Right. And I do see a comment here from Corey as well. He's saying the first time I did live video was from my business page. Is this?
Well, I didn't even know you could do live from your business page. So that's
yeah. I don't typically do it from my business page, but I do have closed memberships. And so instead of doing, say, like a webinar, right, where there can be kind of glitchy, I'll just basically go to the closed page, and you can start a live stream from the closed page as well. It is rather new. I mean, it's they're still rolling out live to some people, I think, too. They just maybe not have access yet.
So there's a good example for, I think it was Aaron, do it all from your business page and ask every patient and get everyone to follow your business page, like it, keep it 100% professional, no weirdness, and do your live from your business page.
Yeah, I mean, typically what happens in the fan page, there'll be a little camera symbol when you go to post, and then right next to it, there's a couple dots, dot, 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 and you just hit the dots, and then it'll say live feed. And so you can do that on your fan page. And what I'm noticing too is like, I'm seeing this with a lot of coaches and mentors and things like that too, is they'll actually do so I'm frozen apparently, but I'll just keep going. So what they'll do is they'll actually do their Facebook video, they'll post it to their page, business page, and then they'll just boost it for $20.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to get into, don't be ever overwhelmed by the boosting or the advertising.
No.
That's not really the purpose of this webinar. The purpose is you have your foundation set of what you need to do and start getting comfortable with the technology, your iPhone, the Filmic app, the setup. And then we're going to get into like making you good on camera and then how to get that exposure.
You know, is there any other, so if anyone wants to type in a question there that's relevant to equipment, to lighting, to sound, so audio, to applications, any questions they might have specific to that in Facebook video and live feed? Where's the hack to do Facebook Live? Nancy's saying from your laptop. I will post that in the resources. Maybe I'll also add, Josh, what do you think? Should I add, there's also a resource for getting closed caption. I mean, that might be a little advanced for people, but it's inexpensive and it's effective.
You mean like when you pay Facebook to do it for you or some other end?
There's a company, I can't remember, one of my VAs does it for me, but it's basically, they pay, per minute, they'll actually do closed caption on your video. So it might cost you like a couple bucks.
Yeah, like that's definitely something we'll bring up in the next one. Like I know videos I upload to Wistia, you can pay Wistia to do the closed captioning. I have a VA who does the closed captioning because you can upload a .srt file, which I finally found one person who would do it for less than like $100 a minute. And that works too. But yeah, if there's a cheap alternative, definitely share that.
So Josh, with your lapel mic, so this is a question from Jerry. He's saying, do you plug the lapel mic into the ear plug jack in your phone?
Yes. And then you attach it to your, lapel collar, whatever it is. And be smart about it. Like if you're wearing a button down or if a woman and a shirt or a blouse, like have the lapel cord go under your shirt so it's not hanging out in front of you and it looks sloppy.
Yeah, and honestly, people will be really surprised by how effective, like how incredible. So I guess I always like to go on a scale of 1 to 10. So like if your audio on just your mobile alone is say like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 quality, that lapel mic will take it to an 8 to a 9, which is really incredible when people are listening, and so it'll increase the amount of time they spend actually listening. So we have someone else asked the question. They said, "What kind of mic are you wearing right now, Ed?" Actually, I don't have a mic. I don't have a mic on, like a lapel mic. I actually have a Rode podcast mic that's hooked up to my PC, and that's what I'm using right now. So if it sounds a little bit clearer, then that could be why. And so Melvin here has a question. Melvin was saying, so if you can not use a webcam for, please clarify again, if you cannot use your webcam for live feed, you can use a PC, a webcam for live feed. However, there's a Facebook hack for that. Like I can add it to the resources. It's like literally, it's a software that you need to download onto your PC that will link up with the live stream capability of Facebook. And I've looked into it, and I'm not scared by technology, but it scared the hell out of me. So I was like, you know what? I think I'll just let this go. But I know that it can be done, or you could even maybe hire someone to do it yourself. So it is possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but and I think Josh would agree, let's keep it simple. Just keep it as simple as possible. And that's the best way to go. So mobile does a great job, especially like Josh said, Dr. Josh said, the phone, the iPhone 6.
Yeah, and here's some other tech aspects. I just missed some of that. Here's a great example. I just realized that my laptop, my AirBook, was at 10% battery 10 minutes ago, and now it's at 4%. And I'm glad, I guess I'm not on camera because I had to motion to Ed, like, hey, give me a second. I had to run into another room and get my charger. The worst thing is running out of battery when you're recording, whether it's live, obviously, or recording, or running out of space on your phone. Now, with the current iPhones, because the camera's so good, the videos you're recording are very, very heavy and they take up a lot of space. And when you're doing not live, but recordings, you're going to end up doing a lot of shooting. And what's going to start happening is you're going to be in the middle of a few minute video and the camera's going to stop and it's going to say, you don't have enough space to record this. And it's really, really frustrating because you just lost all of that. And then you're going to start deleting videos from your camera and you're going to think that's going to free up space and you're going to record again. And the same thing's going to happen. And I can't tell you how many times I've gone to the Apple store, waited in line, and wasted because I didn't realize that there is a deleted videos folder in your camera folder that you have to clear out those. Otherwise, you're really not deleting any space off your camera. So especially with like 4K shooting and all of that, make sure you're deleting your outtakes and you're deleting you're clearing your deleted videos outtakes so it's easier for you and you don't lose video in the middle. And if you're using Filmic, those are higher quality videos, so they're going to be even heavier files. So make sure you're deleting those files, especially. And lastly, on the 6S, the 4K camera is what comes out of the back of the phone, not the big screen part of the phone. But most of the time, we record out of the front of the phone so we can see ourselves. Like we can make sure the frame is good. We don't want to be off frame, but you're not getting the highest quality camera. So if you're setting up your phone on a tripod and it's going to be still and you're doing a recorded video at your desk in your clinic, I would recommend making sure, like have someone else make sure you look good in the frame and filming from the back of the camera, which is the 4K or the highest camera lens. Even though you won't be able to see yourself, that's fine. And it's probably better because you won't distract yourself by seeing yourself. But realize the back of the camera is a higher quality camera than the front of the camera. Great point.
And there's lots of questions coming through that are like, look, about budgeting, about Facebook advertising. And certainly I think this is one of the we could spend a whole webinar in itself just talking about boosting ads and Facebook targeting. And I think we will do that. Is that right, Josh? We'll talk about that and what we are finding is effective.
And that's way too advanced for right now. Like you've got to have good video before you should spend a dime on it rather than figuring all that. Like make sure you have a good video and then start potentially spending.
Yeah, and even questions such as, people are saying, well, what kind of content, what should we talk about? And
that'll
I
be
think
choice. Yeah,
exactly, absolutely. I think those are all. I'll just make a challenge to everyone who's watching the replay or doing this right now is just do a frickin' video, or do a Facebook Live. Just do your first one. I think that would be pretty cool if you could do that, and then let us know, what, or tag myself or tag Dr. Josh on it. I'd like to see what you got.
Yeah, hey, I'll offer this. Because you're taking your time to be on here, you are showing that you want to do it. If you do a video and post it, whether it's live or not, and you tag me, I'll give you a private message. I won't put this public, but I will give you my legitimate feedback on what could have made it better.
There you go.
Straight up. I'll take a few minutes and give you my straight up feedback. I just have to know you did it. So I guess make sure you tag me or something, and I will give you my feedback until it gets overwhelming if there's like hundreds of people doing this.
That would be pretty cool though, because, some people might be asking Josh, why are you guys doing this? Because honestly, I got a lot of stuff both of us, clients, content creation, production, yourself, you could even be in your office right now. So part of the reason why we're doing this is we truly do believe that more chiropractors who are actually doing things like Facebook Live, getting outside there, doing more video, that we're going to actually see that the profession is going to grow as well and elevate the profession.
Yeah, and straight up, 100% candid, I want you to see more people and the benefits of that, whether that's revenue, whether that's you feel better about yourself, seeing more visits. So there's that aspect, like straight up, I want you benefiting more in your income and revenue and the difference that'll make in your life from this. And I want the people in your community having a better experience of their chiropractor or a chiropractor or chiropractic. That's a big reason why I share what I share in my other platforms, which you probably are familiar with, is because I was so fed up with how so much of chiropractic is portrayed to the public, and the general perception of chiropractic could be so much better and making a difference there. And this is one example of how to do it.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing too, and I stress this all the time with people that I'm working with, is that, look, I want it to be where, possibly someone, sees your video and there could even be across the country and they still go in and see a chiropractor. If we have more of that, that's how the profession will really grow. And it benefits everyone. We all grow as a profession. So yeah, John, we're going to talk about content. We'll talk about that on another training that we've gone a little bit long. We're about 50 minutes in. If anyone has any other specific questions to technology, to cameras, to audio, lighting, anything like that, we'll definitely answer those. Remember, do your video. Like, that's the challenge. Do a video, tag Dr. Josh, tag myself on it. Definitely Dr. Josh will give you some great feedback. I know. I'll just give you a high five maybe.
Yeah. and here's another thing. Don't think the videos Ed and I do are mainly for chiropractors, not for patients. So don't think that you have to imitate how we do it. In fact, you shouldn't at all. What I would say is, more recently, I've been seeing some really good videos done by chiropractors. Now, they're done by production companies, like they had a crew come in, they're edited, there's music in the background, but it's a great homepage video, and chiropractors are sharing that on Facebook too, which I completely endorse. Look for those, the ones you like, the ones that if you were a new patient looking for, and see how even just with just a tripod and yourself, whether it's live or recorded, you could emulate that talking to the camera. So when we're talking about content, see if you were a prospective new patient, what would you want to hear from the chiropractor, and what videos do you see out there that you're like, wow, that was done well? And you do your own mini version of that. Start there, and then we're going to build on it with the next webinars.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why I always watch your videos on Facebook, Josh, or Dr. Josh, is because they are live, they're real. It's you. I'm curious. I want to know. I want to get to know, who is this guy, and they're relevant. So I think anyone who's doing considering content, considering doing this, and the reason why you should be doing video is because people are always looking in marketing, they're always looking at your relevancy. So how is it going to help them? And they're looking at whether they can relate to you. So let people know a little bit about you. Sometimes I think that some videos can be too polished. So I think a lot of some of the people who are marketers on Facebook are the ones who are doing they're just have their phone out and they're doing the videos of themselves. So it doesn't have to be really complicated, and it just needs to be a really good reflection of you and your message.
Yeah, and we'll get into hey, what makes that a good reflection, and showing the expertise and that you care and all that. Well, that's for future webinars.
Yeah. All right, so I'm just going to open it up to questions one more time. I think we answered pretty much everything. And here's what we're going to cover on the next webinar. Maybe Josh and I, what are we going to cover on the next webinar, Josh? Dr. Josh.
I think you have it in front of you, so don't put. I'm going to say something wrong. Yeah, I don't want to say something wrong. Yeah.
Okay, so together, I think the next step, we're definitely going to cover content. So what is it that you should be putting up? The last step, I think, that we're going to really be diving into, and it's probably going to be the one that could be the most challenging, is, let's say the next one would be more content and comfort. So getting comfortable and less awkward in front of the camera. And then after that would be Facebook advertising. How do you get people actually engaging, and how do you get them actually seeing what you're putting out there and getting results? How about that? Outcome and results.
Sounds good. And I just saw another comment come in about, do you recommend using a mic with your cell phone with Facebook Live? I find between just the cell phone mic a boom mic and literally my headphones mic. My headphones mic produces the best audio for Facebook Live or recorded videos. Unfortunately, it's only a few feet long, and that's actually better than my lapel mic. Now it's like $100, I forget the brand, it's $100 set of earbuds, but that produces the best live audio for me, is having my headphones in. And I don't even have to have them in my ears. I oftentimes have the earbuds like in my shirt and the mic just popping out of the shirt.
Right. Yeah. And just before we kind of wrap up, I'm going to give that call to action too, to just do it. A lot of people, like even myself included, I used to always think, oh, I need all the equipment. I need everything in place before I can start. And you don't. All you need is your phone.
Yeah. Like order the equipment you need to order today. Like spend that $13 on a lapel mic or the $20 on a tripod, but that doesn't mean wait till then to start practicing. Just order it today, get the stuff and start practicing.
Okay. And I want to make sure, so if you could comment in the chat, did everyone see the button there? I'm going to leave it there for another minute. The button is there for the resources. I'm going to add to that list. So I want you to go to that button. You're going to click on that. It'll take you to a URL or a web hidden page. And then I want you to make sure you bookmark that for future upcoming webinars. Did anyone see the resources that was posted? Just go ahead and comment. Got it. Thank you, Nancy.
I could.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks, Dr. Joss. This was a lot of fun today.
Yeah, this is great. And thanks for all of the questions and engagement by you guys. That shows me you guys are going to actually act on it.
And I want to acknowledge everyone who's actually here. We have 70 people that actually showed up live, and for chiropractors during a practice day, that's pretty amazing, by the way. And just short of 300 chiropractors are actually registered for this. And with the replay, we're probably going to impact about close to 400 chiropractors with this. So it's definitely something that a lot of people are interested in, and I think that we could actually really create a good movement here to help a lot of docs get more success.
If you know a colleague, someone could still jump on and register for the other trainings. And I don't know if they'll get a replay of this one, but they might as well get on, because you could tell them what happened in this training and what equipment to get, and then they can just fill in from training 2 or 3.
Yeah, don't hold it hostage, Doc. If you're listening, you're watching, and when we send out the replay, share it. When we send out the resources, you can go ahead and share those too. Awesome.
Cool.
So that's
Thanks,
the end
everyone.
of the webinar. Thank you so much for showing up today.
All right. Be great, guys.